Colonial Americans once believed this vegetable was so dangerous, doctors warned it could kill you. Entire towns banned it from dinner tables. Meanwhile, an empire away, kings were paying fortunes to grow it out of season. This is the cucumber. Cucumbers originated in South Asia, likely in the foothills of the Himalayas, where wild varieties have grown for at least 3,000 years. Archaeological and textual evidence places cucumber cultivation in India as far back as 2000 BCE, and from there, it spread steadily westward along ancient trade routes into Persia, Egypt, and eventually the Mediterranean world, arriving in regions that would come to value it in dramatically different ways. Ancient Egypt developed a genuine obsession with the cucumber, considering it valuable enough to include among offerings buried with pharaohs. Egyptian art and tomb inscriptions depict cucumbers alongside other prized foods, and historical accounts suggest ancient Egyptians ate them raw, pickled, and even mixed with milk or vinegar as a cooling remedy against the region's brutal heat. Rome pushed cucumber cultivation to genuinely obsessive extremes. According to the Roman historian Pliny the Elder, Emperor Tiberius demanded cucumbers be available on his table every single day of the year, forcing Roman gardeners to invent early greenhouse-like structures, wheeled carts covered with sheets of translucent mica that could be rolled outside during sunny days and back indoors during cold weather. An emperor's simple craving had essentially forced the invention of primitive greenhouse technology. When the Roman Empire collapsed, cucumber cultivation faded across much of Europe for centuries, only reappearing significantly during the medieval period through renewed trade with the Middle East and Asia. By the 1300s and 1400s, cucumbers had re-established themselves across European gardens, though they remained a relatively minor crop compared to their earlier prominence under Roman rule. Everything changed with European colonization of the Americas starting in the late 1400s. Christopher Columbus is credited with introducing cucumbers to the Caribbean during his voyages, and Spanish explorers carried them throughout their expanding colonial territories. Indigenous peoples across the Americas began cultivating them rapidly, and by the 1500s, cucumbers had spread across a hemisphere that had never encountered them before. But not everyone welcomed the cucumber with open arms. In colonial America and parts of Europe throughout the 1600s and 1700s, a genuine medical panic emerged around raw cucumbers, with physicians warning they caused fevers, digestive collapse, and in extreme claims, death. Some colonial doctors specifically advised against feeding cucumbers to children, and the phrase, "cool as a cucumber," actually originates from this era's belief that the vegetable's coolness made it dangerously indigestible for the human body. This fear wasn't entirely irrational for its time. Poor food preservation, contaminated water used for washing produce, and genuine confusion around foodborne illness meant cucumbers, often eaten raw and unwashed, were sometimes genuinely linked to sickness, even if the vegetable itself wasn't actually the cause. The real culprit was usually contamination, not the cucumber, but 17th and 18th century medicine had no reliable way to make that distinction. Meanwhile, back in England, cucumbers took on an entirely different meaning: wealth and status. By the 1700s and 1800s, growing cucumbers out of season in England required expensive, elaborate greenhouses called cucumber frames, heated constantly by manure and glass panels. Only the genuinely wealthy could afford this, and cucumbers became such a symbol of upper-class refinement that the cucumber sandwich, crustless, delicate, and impractical, emerged specifically as an aristocratic Victorian tea-time status symbol. As food safety knowledge improved dramatically throughout the 1800s and 1900s, and greenhouse and refrigeration technology made cucumbers cheap and available year-round, both the medical fears and the aristocratic exclusivity gradually disappeared. What had once required an emperor's demand, primitive Roman greenhouses, or expensive Victorian glass frames, became something any household could simply buy at a local market. From an emperor forcing the invention of ancient greenhouses, to colonial doctors warning it could kill you, to English aristocrats treating it as a symbol of refined wealth, the cucumber's journey reveals something genuinely strange. This ordinary, watery vegetable spent centuries shifting between object of imperial obsession, medical fear, and class privilege. The next time you eat one without a second thought, remember, people once built entire industries and entire superstitions around this simple, humble vegetable.